Our next guest is Hazel. Hazel is a 2-year-old domestic shorthair, and she is actually a return to shelter, and that is, you can probably figure out, a cat that was adopted or a dog that's been adopted from us, and then they're brought back to us. It's about 10% of the animals we adopt out come back, and with Brutus, I was talking about that we try and give people all the information we have. And sometimes, even though all the information is provided, things don't work out. So part of our adoption contract is, if you can't keep the animal you adopted from us, we want you to bring the animal back to us. And you can see Hazel's back on our adoption floor, now on Randy's lap, and we're looking for another home for her. So the reason she was brought back, she was brought to us because she was urinating outside her litter box. She was urinating in the litter box, and she was urinating outside the little litter box. Her owners, it looks like, tried to do a lot of things for her to try and solve that problem. They had her about 2 months, and from the profile they filled out, it looks like they tried to confine her to a smaller space with a box. They took her to a vet, and they moved the litter box around, and it sounds like they tried to do a lot of things. When she came back, we tested to see if she'd use a litter box here, and she was using her litter box. And here, the difference between us and a home is obviously they're living in such a smaller space that there's not as much room for error. It's almost as if you're in the litter box or you're not in your litter box. But we did send out a urinalysis for Hazel, and what we found was she had a higher level of struvite crystals, which is basically crystals in her urine, which can cause cats to have to urinate more frequently and unexpectedly. So what Hazel's going to need from her next adopter is someone who is committed to keeping her on a prescription special diet to decrease the chances that those crystals form in her urine. These crystals can also cause urinary tract infections and things like that. So that will be a lifelong commitment to that diet. So at 2 years old, Hazel has a long life ahead of her, and she is a great cat. Hazel is a great example of someone wanting to adopt her. We want to hand you her medical records so you know what you're getting into. And if you need photocopies to take to your vet so you can have a conversation of how much will this diet cost me, those kinds of things, we want you to know all that. So Hazel's a great cat looking for her next home. She's available for adoption, obviously, on our cat floor, and she would love a visit from you.